Sa panahon ng mabilis na impormasyon at kaliwat kanang balita, kailangan mo ng isang channel na mapagkakatiwalaan, diretsyo at para sa bayan. Ito ang Balitang Pambansa, ang iyong bagong tahanan ng mainit na issue, tunay na impormasyon at mga balitang hindi mo dapat palampasin. Mula sa mga trending na kaganapan sa social media hanggang sa mga seryosong isyong pambansa. Bantay kami sa bawat sulok ng bansa para sa iyo. Hindi lang basta chismis, kundi validated news, mga impormasyon na may batayan at mga kwento ng tunay na buhay Pilipino. At kung gusto mong laging nauuna sa kaalaman, huwag kalimutang mag-like, mag-share at higit sa lahat, mag-subscribe. Dahil sa Balitang Pambansa, balita mo, boses mo, bayan natin ito.
Well, yung PDAF kasi, allocated yan to each congressman as a fund that they can use to fund different pet projects, supposedly. I remember, I was a congressman before. Ang concentration namin sa district ko was scholarships and medical assistance. No NGOs, nothing like that. Lahat, scholarship, diretso sa PUP, or Cavite State University at that time, or diretso sa medical assistance sa mga ospital. Ang nangyari kasi diyan sa PDAF cases, they brought it to the different NGOs which supposedly implemented the projects. How the Sandigan Bayan was able to appreciate the facts is beyond me, because I was not part of the trials. I haven't read the decisions except for one or two decisions. And we're going to, this is why we're calling the attention of, we called the attention already of Senior Associate Justice Leonen, so that we can have a dialogue to make sure that everybody's on the same page when it comes to treating cases. Di ba? Kasi nga, ang kalahati ng judicial system, sa kanila eh. Di ba? Justice system natin. Hindi naman kami lang eh. Kasama ang korte. Kaya dapat, on the same page kami kung saan kami nagagaling. Yun naman, I will not cast judgment on anybody. Sa akin lang, we just have to belong to the same page. We have to be on the same page when we start trying these cases. Di ba? Kasi ano yan eh, the evidence we present here will be the same evidence they will appreciate. And the witnesses we will present in court will be the same witnesses that will be part of the decision. So the dialogue just has to happen so that we're on the same page. I think that medyo klaro na yun, di ba?
Sir, mas mahirap pa i-prosecute now, given na yung fund ay nasa dito?
Actually, may madaling i-prosecute dito, but actually, hindi mahirap po. Parang pareho lang eh, kasi yung PDAF cases are ghost projects din yan eh. They went to NGOs, supposedly with beneficiaries who were fake beneficiaries. Di ba? So nawala yung pera, where it went, it was never explained. Pwede mo mawala ang pera ng ganun-ganun lang kung walang kukuha. Yun lang naman ang tanong dito, di ba? And I think the narrations of the DPWH people, Henry Alcantara, Bryce Hernandez, are more or less complete and very vivid. We saw the pictures on the table, the money on the table. I think 300 billion yung nasa picture na yun, eh, no? Yung ba, nawawala na lang ng parang bula yun para walang managot. Yun lang naman yun, eh. I think that we just need a dialogue with them. So I think that on Thursday, Senior Associate Justice Lonen will be with the Sandigan Bayan, and we will be talking to them also. Both, maybe separately, Saj Lonen and the Sandigan Bayan Justices. Kakausapin din namin.
Sir, follow up lang po doon. Sir, gaano katibay na po yung mga ebidensyang inihawak natin o hinahanap pa po natin? Kasi puro testimonial po, most of it. Nababack up naman po ba ito ng mga dokumento, iba pa pong evidence?
Alam nyo, AMLA is not always, will not always tell you the story. Kasi we're a cash economy. Di ba? So, we will have to follow a cash trail somehow. And we intend to pursue that. Anong stage tayo ng PI sa
So we're already receiving counter affidavit.
counter affidavit? We're already receiving the counter affidavits. So, let's say we receive the counter affidavits within this week. Within this week. Next week, we can already have a resolution. The teams, the panels in the PI can already have a resolution. And once the resolution is approved by the panel, it will go to my office and then instruction for filing already. So hopefully, kung ngayon ay November 4, by November 11, baka meron na kami na file sa korte. Hopefully, pag nakapasok na yung mga counter affidavits and submitted for resolution. That's Jesse.
Yeah. On the
Yeah.
part of the Department of Justice and NBI Investigation Task Force, we have already filed 5 cases for preliminary investigation. And the first hearing date is on November 10. So we expect the counter affidavits to be submitted on that day, and most of them have been served already. So in addition, the approach we're taking is not only with respect to the DPWH officials involved in the misuse of funds. The additional investigation we're doing, together with the help of many whistleblowers, named and unnamed, are the proponents and how they actually receive kickbacks. So this is how different this is from the PDAF, because we're not limiting our investigation to the misuse of funds, but those who benefited from this illegal use of funds. So the kickbacks aspect would point to proponents that could possibly be lawmakers, senators, and congressmen.
I think I had the discussion earlier with former Secretary Singson and Justice Reyes, and it's some of it can be attributed to gross inexcusable negligence, if I'm not mistaken. Being the Secretary of Public Works, it was his job to make sure that things happen properly. I think that's one of the recommendations, is really to charge them with gross inexcusable negligence. The same case that we'll be filing against, probably under study now, the Speaker of the House, former Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez.
Sir, can you elaborate yung kay Speaker Martin Romualdez? Ano na po yung proseso natin? Ano na po yung hawak natin kung meron man na evidence?
Hindi kasi when we look at the Saldico cases, and the whole pattern that happened, it was really Saldico working with some senators that came up with a final version of the budget. And the plan was laid out there. If fingers do not point to the Speaker, former Speaker, as the leader of the House, he was responsible for the appointment of Saldico. Although Saldico was elected on the floor, everybody knows that it was the Speaker's choice. That's why we have to hold him accountable for that. It's a novel theory. I know we're crossing the boundary of normal legal theory, but we have to stretch it a bit. Kasi nga, the whole government machinery and the Filipino people suffered damages due to the acts of Saldico. And if there's nothing criminal about it, then it's negligence at least. We have to go there. We have to go we have to tread that path already. That nothing is excusable here. At the least, negligence should be charged against those who were responsible for their offices. Ano yan leadership principle yan The buck stops with you.
Sir, meron ba tayo mga ipapatawag na mga tao na involved dun sa investigation naman po? Yun nga po, Speaker Romualdez, PB Zaldico, yung mga staff niya, paano po ba natin nakikita yun?
Well, we're trying to locate Gutesa if he's going to go back to testify, but we don't know yet. We're looking at all the narrations as a whole. All the narrations from the beginning of the Senate trials that led to these revelations, all of them will be used in putting up the theory of gross inexcusable negligence. Kasi nga, you're the leader of one house, and the other house is led by Senator Chisa Escudero as Senate President. And they were able to come up with that budget, which included insertions, which included diversions of money from what was supposed to be to what became. So that is, if it's not criminal, then it must be negligence. It must be one of them. It cannot be completely, nobody can be completely blameless for that.
Sir, Senator Chis Escudero, paano na po yung investigation sa kanya?
Ongoing, we have statements leading of a money trail leading to him, narrations of fact that are there already. But of course, we want to buttress it with other evidence, which we're looking to right now. Ano nga eh? Pag wala ka makitang AMLA trail, then you have to follow a cash trail, and we will find it.
Sir, sundot na rin namin. Villiers naman po kasi the original subpoena of the House was intended for 4 firms. Pero as it turned out, wala doon yung firms na connected sa Villiers. As it turned out, it's Motion Trade, not INT. So, kamusta po yung investigation?
Let's face it, no. There has been a lot of connivance. Congress, DPWH, even the agencies that were supposed to monitor the fund movements, no. So definitely there was total connivance, and the fact is that congressmen and senators are told by DPWH kung saan distrito sila pwedeng magbaba with SOP. Napakaliwanag nun. There are favorite district offices where they give very high SOPs, no? And maliwanag na yon, no, sa findings ng ICI. So it's a matter of identifying people who were involved in the connivance that really brought this whole government machinery system total breakdown. No? The process to us, especially coming from DPWH, is already very clear. Without the role of DPWH officials, hindi mangyayari to.
At sir, aabot yun hanggang sa mga sekretary.
Umabot na nga eh. Lahat. Wherever it leads. Because it did not start the last 2 years. It started way back, started in tiny bits in 2018, started to grow. When they perfected the system, it started in tremendous leaps and bounds.
Ano nga eh, yung sa Villar, we may be putting up a new task force for the River Drive and for the flood control of Las Piñas. Bacoor, Las Piñas area. Kasi andun yung mga lupa na nag-benefit din eh. They're the landowners also that benefited from that. So we have to look at that also. We're forming a new task force for that. Just for Villar itself. Yung Zapote River Drive, together with the Bacoor properties that were boundaries on the rivers, no? Dinaanan ng river. There were improvements made in that area. That's one thing that has to be looked at. Ano yun eh? Pag tikaroon ka, pag dumaan ka ron, alam mo kanilang lupa yun. Nakita mo yung river wall. Tanong mo, sino ba gumastos? Gobyerno o sila? Ganun kasimple yun. It's as simple as that. So we will determine that later on. Sa costing ng project na nangyari doon.
By the end of the year, ilan kayang posibilang makasukan natin? Sinasabi kahapon ng DPWH Secretary 60 raw. Kakayanin ba ng GL lang ba yun o sayang si Pag?
Pwede umabot ng ganun. Baka hindi lang eh. In fact, the one question to me earlier this morning, I was with members of the diplomatic corps. Yung isang ambassador, the ambassador of Denmark asked me a question. Do you have the absorptive capacity to file all of these cases? How many people do you have at the ombudsman and how many cases are there? Sabi ko, wow, that's a good question. Kasi nga, we have 1,400 people here in this office. Kasama na ang Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao offices. And ano nga eh, sa Villar, we may be putting up a new task force for the River Drive and for the flood control of Las Piñas. Bacoor, Las Piñas area. Kasi andun yung mga lupa na nag-benefit din eh. They're the landowners also that benefited from that. So we have to look at that also. We're forming a new task force for that. Just for Villar itself. Yung Zapote River Drive, together with the Bacoor properties that were boundaries on the rivers, no? dinaanan ng river. There were improvements made in that area. That's one thing that has to be looked at. Ano yun eh? Pag tikaroon ka, pag dumaan ka ron, alam mo, kanilang lupa yun. Nakita mo yung river wall. Tarong mo, sino ba gumastos? Gobyerno o sila? Ganun kasimple yun. It's as simple as that. So we will determine that later on. Sa costing ng project yung nangyari doon.
By the end of the year, ilan kayang posible ang makasukay natin? Sinasabi kahapon ng DPWH Secretary 6 Sira, kakayanin ba na hindi lang kayo o sayang si Pag?
Pwede umabot ng ganun. Baka hindi lang eh. In fact, the one question to me earlier this morning, I was with members of the diplomatic corps. Yung isang ambassador, the ambassador of Denmark asked me a question. Do you have the absorptive capacity to file all of these cases? How many people do you have at the ombudsman and how many cases are there? Sabi ko, wow, that's a good question. Kasi nga, we have 1,400 people here in this office. Kasama na ang Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao offices. And if you look at that, ilan ng lawyers natin dito? 400? We have roughly 400 lawyers. But if you look at the number of cases and the number of projects, you're looking at more than 1,000 projects na may problema. That's around 3 cases per lawyer only. Pero if you look at it, the volume involved and the court time involved, that's a lot of cases. Pero I think we will manage. And if you look at the staffing pattern of the Office of the Ombudsman, we can accommodate more lawyers here. And a lot of people are applying right now. We're evaluating them already. Kaya yung tanong na, will we be able to deal with this deluge of cases? I think we will. And ang kailangan lang dito, kaya nga kailangan ng dialogue with the Supreme Court and the Sandigan Bayan, is that they should be prepared to adjust their time schedules. Na we might be start trying cases morning and afternoon pagdating ng panahon. So much different from what life is right now. No, halos walang kaso, konting-kaunti ang kaso sa Sandigan Bayan. We expect a deluge of cases. Well into 2026, marami pa ipa-file dyan. Kasi ang dami naman nagre-report pa. I received text messages, pinapa-investigate ko. And some of them turn out to be positive, like Binyan, Laguna. May nag-text lang sa akin. So, pinadetermine ko sa fact finder, sa mga tao namin, meron. May problema din. So, we're talking about a lot of cases here. A deluge of cases will happen.
Meron ba tayong mga priority na iba natin yung matataas na opisyal o yung doon muna tayo sa mga
As they come eh. Pero siyempre, yung matataas sa opisyal, these were the high-profile cases. They will receive more attention. You will notice it more than the other cases. But actually, they're all of the same significance. But the higher your position, the bigger your responsibility. Kaya, tiis na lang. Kung pag ikaw yung mataas sa gobyerno, ikaw ang nakasuhan, tiis ka. Kasi, hiningi mo yung trabaho, ngayon, managot ka sa trabaho. Di ba? Panagutan mo yun.
Sir, yung sa task force naman yun, guys, one question lang. Why do you need a separate task force for the...
Kasi ano yan eh, it's a complete analysis that you need sa pagdating doon. Kasi yung River Drive alone is a multi-billion peso project or projects na nangyari. That's the River Drive spanning from Bacoor to Muntinlupa yan eh. Passing through Las Piñas. Mahaba yan. That's around 11 kilometers yung road. And then, yung perimeter niyan will be Villar properties ang marami. North and south of it. North and south boundaries from Muntinlupa to Bacoor. Meron talaga. Kaya kailangan talaga pag-aralan ng specialized group yan that are dedicated. I think that it should be something that it should have been done a long time ago. Pero priority yan.
Sir, do you expect them to cooperate? Yes, kasi considering na, of course, sila masyadong...
I think they need to. It's not a matter of them wanting to, but they will have to cooperate. Gara.
Sir River, back on top of po dun sa ties nila sa mga firms na nakakuha ng...
Yes. Bukod pa yun.
Pero will
Kasama na yon sa task force. Yung lahat ng Villar involvement.
Just for scale, no? Just focusing on the 421 ghost projects. Easily 15 can be accused per ghost projects. So bilangin nyo ilan yun. ganun karami.
Ombudsman, just to contribute on the understanding of the deluge of cases. Understandably, per district, you can imagine already 15 or to 20 people being charged, involved in the illegal process. And you can have possibly 100 projects. Okay. But here comes the important aspect of restitution of the kickbacks. We don't need to prosecute them 100 times for the 100 cases they were involved. Because yung maximum penalty mo naman reclusion perpetua, nandun na rin yun But the important aspect here is to get back the kickbacks, the stolen funds from the government. So that will be part of our effort. It cannot be compromised. Kailangan ibalik yung nakaw na pera, ibalik sa kaban ng bayan.
Sir, Zaldi po, ano na po yung balak natin sa kanya? Siya po yung kasama sa, dapat nag-file na po ng counter affidavit, but he is abroad, sir. Ano na po yung next steps?
As Biko said, he may lose the chance to fight his case. If he will lose by default. Kasi ang rules of court is also applies to people who are upset. You just have to leave it in their last known address.
Sir, next steps po doon, ipapakansel na natin.
Yes, pag nasa korte na. Pag may warrant na.
Kasi red notice, possible, pag may warrant.
Yes, red notice. Ngayon, blue notice lang. So we're able to locate him everywhere he is.
Sir, anong intel niyo kung nasaan siya ngayon?
I think he moves between Spain and Portugal. He just moves between the two countries, Spain and Portugal.
Sir, kamusta yung investigation niyo po dun sa kanyang parang kanang kamay, yung staff niya, Estrada ba, or something, o all something. Sabi po ni Senator Marcoleta, siya po ay nasa ibang bansa na rin daw at binabantayan. Di ko man.
I think that Yusek Andres will be the one to handle that later on.
We continue to get information on names that could possibly be complicit in the transactions. And we're locating them. We will send them subpoenas as necessary for them to participate and, give the information on their participation in this illegal activity. Pero gagawin natin yan kasi we need to validate it. Hindi naman pwedeng bawat pangalan na banggitin, automatic suspect na. We have to have some corroborative or supportive evidence para isabina na rin natin siya. And we're validating that first. But I think we will proceed to calling them to give their statements.
Ombudsman, maliban po dito sa mga nairekomenda na ng ICI, meron din po mga mangilan-ngilan na individual na nagpapile din po ng mga reklamo na may kinalaman sa mga proyekto sa DPWH. As of now ba, may bilang po ba tayo o may gano'ng karami itong mga biglang nagpupunta dito sa Ombudsman para magreklamo din na may kinalaman sa mga flood control or sa mga...
Marami-rami rin Sabi ko nga sa inyo, text pa lang, pinavalidate na namin Kasi nga, we find it, these texts are coming from people that I know. So, pinapavalidate ko kagad. And then we build up cases. Marami. And people are encouraged to inform us on what they know because we will not waste their time. We will do something about it.
For this specific case po, sir, yung nirefer po sa inyo ng ICI, may na-establish na rin po bang links yung contractor na si Mayor Villanueva with Senator Joel? May nakita namin pa kayo?
No links have been established between with Senator Villanueva. None yet. Yes. We are still validating and we're hoping that there are more people who will be whistleblowers and give us the right information. The life of these cases depend on whistleblowers because the money is cash. So kailangan ng whistleblower. Other than that, it's difficult to connect unjustly or without due process. You cannot connect without due process. You cannot say that you presume that this man is there. So we have been evaluating all of this.
Pero yun po ba yung path na, or yung direction na titingnan natin? Posibleng may link kaya?
Everything is possible because this is a crime, and a criminal has many ways to commit a crime, but you have to understand the meaning of the word mastermind. He is a mastermind, he's a genius. So we're fighting against a syndicated genius of criminals. Thank you.
We'll accommodate one more question.
Okay, one more.